So let's get into a toast to America in 250 years. One thing that makes this country really great, it was written in our Constitution many years ago. When we started this, at the beginning of this great nation, we needed to have a good Constitution. And ideals based on freedom, democracy, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, freedom, and all that good stuff. Democracy, the people have a choice. The people choose their leaders. The people have a say. That's important too. The people having a say. Not being silenced by the government and things like that. It's all written right into the Constitution, all the amendments, and those are the ideals that carry this country through the centuries. And then it's our ability to expand and our ingenuity and our industrialization and our technologies, and we're always advanced. We're always ahead of everyone else. We always have to be ahead of everyone else. We want to be the best. And our military, we have to be the strongest. We have to be able to protect this country and also sometimes be defenders of the world. It's just something that over time is something that continues to occur. But our number one priority must be America. America first. And we have to be able to protect it, and we knew that. We knew we had to have a strong military. This nation was founded by war. Founded by war. We had to fight for those rights. We had to fight for our freedoms. We had to fight to have a democracy. We were under tyranny ruled by a guy across an ocean. King George III at the time. The English had full control of us. We left Europe. People came here from Europe to escape the tyranny, especially from religious persecution. They had wanted to come over here and start a new life in a place that was full of natural resources, full of great resources, raw materials, all that stuff. Great land, great soil, great place to start the farms, do the farming, and plenty of animals to hunt and eat and things to eat and raise everything up. We built this place up, and then just to be under tyrannical rule from a country from overseas. So we said that's not going to happen, so it's the ultimate go fuck yourself. It's the Declaration of Independence. We want to be our own independent nation. We don't like the laws of your leader. He doesn't know what's going on. This is not how things are going to work. And we had years of rebellion. Years of constant, we're not putting up with this stuff. The Boston Tea Party, riots and stuff, like uprisings, where then a bunch of people in the Boston Massacre get gunned down. And it finally comes to a head. We say enough is enough. Thomas Jefferson puts feather to parchment, inks out the Declaration of Independence. Enough is enough. We want our freedoms. So this country is founded on an ideal where we're going to be independent, and these are the ideals we're going to live by. Democracy, elections, choosing our leaders, our right to choosing our representation. Those ideals carry us all the way into the future. It starts there. It starts with the way we run things around here, or the way we do things around here. We have to, after all that and all the fighting with Britain, when we win a war, a tough war, but you know, this country is built on the blood of patriots. You have to remember that. Sometimes war is the answer. It needed to be. What we were doing to try to establish our independence to England was unacceptable. That wasn't going to happen. They thought they would come over here and just crush our rebellion, crush our armies, and everything would be, and they would just maintain that control forever. Well, that didn't happen. We had a little help, but we got it done, and that's why we knew the number one thing to defend this country was to have a strong military. And we started immediately. We were building things up, wanting the best hardware, wanting the most troops, wanting the best ships, all the things. You want to have a good, strong military, we knew that. And we always did. We always will have the best military. All the things you need. And the one thing you need is great patriotism, great patriots needing to make that sacrifice, to join the armies and to join the navies. All the branches of the military, they gotta have personnel. Those are people willing to risk it all for this country. And that needs to be recognized. So we had to have a strong military. And we had to have a good expansion. We had a lot of land out there back then. All this land, all this stuff to be explored and to be taken. Sometimes, in some instances, taken or purchased. Other people were there. They needed to make purchases. We established territories. Eventually, territories turned to states, and we expanded this great country ultimately into 50 states. We have all that land, all those resources, and that's another thing that makes this country great is our resources. We have access to a lot of great things. At times, it was all about the gold rush. We wanted the gold. Nowadays, it's all about the oil. We want to have a lot of oil. We want to have a lot of all the different resources. Great land for farming. Great, just good, all the different things you need to have good resources. And our ingenuity, the industrialization of this country, you get to a place where then you're like, well, there are a lot of hardcore disagreements in this country. And one of those disagreements led to our great Civil War. Certain ideals, maybe a little bit related to slavery, but it wasn't all about slavery. But slavery was kind of part of it because you basically had states that wanted to keep it and other states that were totally down with banning it, getting rid of it, finally getting rid of it. It should have been gotten rid of, but here's the thing. Back then, when you were part of a state, it was more about your state pride than it was anything else. It was state over country. Believe it or not. The Virginians were proud Virginians. We were all from Virginia. The thing is, yes, maybe slavery had something to do with starting the argument of the debate, but that's the whole idea of secession. Like, we are leaving. We are done. And our state is down with being done. And the people of the state are like, well, what our state wants to do, that's what we're going to do. And essentially, when your federal government is going to come after you for that idea of secession, you're looking at a war. And then down south, they're like, well, this is the new country now. All this federal property, all this stuff's got to go. They said shut down the fort. They didn't want to shut down the fort. That was Fort Sumter. And a clash was underway. And the Civil War was then underway. There was going to be war. You're going to shoot at us. You're going to kill up our people. We're going to kill you people. Because that whole secession thing is nonsense. That's not going to happen. And the South said, no, that's what's going to happen. and it led to a big war. And what did make people fight isn't slavery. What's the going making people fight isn't the slavery. They were given certain ideals based on their state. What their state wanted to do. So we had a big war here. It was a hell of a war, a fascinating war. A lot of battles around this country. The bloodiest battles on American soil. One is Gettysburg. And ultimately the North wins and America's restored. We have to undergo the most boring subject matter in history class is Reconstruction. Reconstruction. We gotta rebuild. And it's not just rebuilding property and things and the land. It's the actual ideals. To have two sides go to that hardcore of a war, but then to kind of have to restore order and ideals back into America. Well, it got done. And maybe this country, with its biggest divide, it made us even stronger to having gone through something like that. Then we get into the world wars where we must partake because things in Europe, if certain things in Europe are allowed to take larger control, they can control the world. They will start to control the world. That type of thing needed to be stopped. We had to step in. In World War II, no Nazis coming through Europe, wanting to take over all of Europe. They would have been a formidable opponent to us, regardless. But then Pearl Harbor gets bombed by the Japanese, and now we're in it. And since we're doing that, we're going over to Europe too, and we're taking care of that as well. And our presence definitely paid dividends to stop the Nazis. So we're also have to recognize these big wars that we had to partake in to basically keep things going on in the world. Things that threatened us. Things that absolutely, without a doubt, would have ultimately threatened us and our existence. So that happened. And just over the years, we did a lot. And we really built this place up. All throughout and especially in the late 1800s and 1900s, industrialization. Just all the things. We did great things. We did a lot of building this place up. Big cities. Great engineering, great ingenuity, like I said, and plus our ideals that's what makes this country hella great. And we've been through a lot over these 250 years. We've been through wars. We've been through big attacks like 9/11. We have to always remember and never forget 9/11. This is what happens when we let our guard down for a second. People are coming for us. People will attack us. We have to have a guard up. We have to have a strong military. And that is something that will keep us around absolutely forever and infinitely and that fighting spirit. This is a great country. Let's hear it for the USA! America, celebrating 250 years the year of America, and we can toast to that. And good whiskey. Our whiskey is some of the best in the world. You better believe it. Our Kentucky bourbons and Jack Daniels and whiskey from all over this country. Our booze. We are big on our booze. We have some of the best booze in the world right here in this country.